So, I used to practice breakdancing for hours on end, and I even had my dad film me doing a headspin one time so I could send it to a girl. So what happened is, she started with like, top rocking, like getting set, and then she did this at her opponent. I'm sure all of you already know this, but breakdancing is at the Olympics this year for the first time ever. And unfortunately, as they say, the star that burns brightest burns out quickest. It might also be the last time it's at the Olympics. Apparently, it's been confirmed that breaking won't be returning to the Olympics in 2028. And if this truly is its only time at the Olympics, what a way of going out. This is the swan song you could only dream of. There's an Australian breakdancer named Ray Gunn who has gone super viral. Even my dad was talking to me about her because her routine is something the likes of which human eyes weren't made to bear witness to. This is art that's so beautiful, I don't think the Lord was ready for our peepers to be able to process it. Now, Ray Gunn's name is Rachel Gunn, and she earned her spot to compete at the Olympics this year, and she definitely did leave a lasting impression. If you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know I actually have a history of breakdancing. I actually studied to be a b-boy for quite a while in high school because I was under the impression that if I could be a good breakdancer, I could get laid. So when my dad caught wind of this story, he sent it to me like, "Hey bud, you remember breakdancing? Well, it's at the Olympics, look at this." And he sent me the Ray Gunn story. So Ray Gunn is an Australian b-girl who performed a routine that is fascinating, to say the least. I would love to show you some footage of this, but the Olympics will not let me. This shit would get struck down so quick. If I even thought about including a video clip of her routine here, my computer would probably explode. They keep this footage on lockdown, so instead, I'm going to show you some pictures, and I'll do some of the moves, because for the first time in history, I feel like I can perform at an Olympic level when it comes to Ray Gunn's routine. Now, viewers have been comparing this to like a Napoleon Dynamite routine, but not nearly as inspired, and apparently she had the lowest possible score, which was 0. I didn't watch this live, and I can only find a couple of re-uploads that haven't been taken down yet, so I can't see what the scoring was, but according to the articles, she didn't record a single point from any of the judges. So I'll demonstrate some of the moves here to the best of my ability, and try and capture the magic. So her signature move, the one that you're seeing everywhere, was her kangaroo pose. So what happened is, she started with like, top rocking, like getting set, and then she did this at her opponent. So I've actually been practicing the routine for about an hour now, and I think I've got it down comfortably. Like, I think I've got it down pretty well, because these moves aren't foreign to me. These aren't new. I'm familiar with a lot of these maneuvers because the way she moves around in the breakdancing competition here is the same way I move around when I am dangerously drunk, just stumbling around like and crawling on the floor. So I'm gonna do my best here. There is one move I won't be able to emulate because she does do a power move, which is a headstand, and I'm too old to be doing that. So one of her big moves that you'll see is after doing her 6-step, which is, I can't really do the 6-step very fluidly anymore, but after doing this, she's here and she does this. Can you see me? Alright, she does, damn it, across the floor. She skates around like this for a little bit. I change camera angles so you don't miss any of the action. So keep in mind, she's not on carpet, so she is actually sliding while doing this and like pushing off. So she's getting some like propulsion, but she finishes here, and then it's here, and then she cranks back, then here again, then here, and then it's this. After like a pseudo dozy do or like a JoJo Siwa dance move where she hits that, she drops, comes here, pushes off with this leg going across, collecting, and then she's going back down like this, and she starts scooting across the ground like that. I'm trying not to blow out my knee, so I look like a crab, but hers is just on her knees like that. And then from here, it goes big spin, huge spin. She's back here, and then it's the headstand. See if I can remember how to do it. But some of that. Just realized I was facing the wrong way for the headstand, and I want this as true to the routine as possible. So she's here, and then it's hits one of those, drops down, comes up, and then cranks a sprinkler. And I'm not making the sprinkler part up. She does drop a cold sprinkler in the middle of her routine here for round one. I can't find her whole routine. The director's cut has been taken offline, so I don't know how it all connects, but she comes back in rhythm, then she comes forward doing this, touches her toes, pushes back, rolls over, and then hits this pose. Like this. And then from here, she does this, like SpongeBob with photosynthesis, does the other side, and then she does this. More or less. That one felt silky smooth. I only heard a few cracks and pops throughout my body. Some of her other big moves include, she does like a couple of flares, which I don't think I can do anymore. That's like this, and then turning your legs in the air. She does like 3 of those, and then she ends up doing like another weird thing where she catches her leg like this and does this. So she goes around the ring for a minute like this. And from this maneuver, she transitions out of it by landing here and going. And then she catches like this and then goes. And then pops herself back out. And you know, you get the idea. You get the idea. It's a breaking performance for the ages. I'm getting winded. Holy shit. It's been a while since my body's moved in such unnatural gyrations. Holy. I changed my mind. I can't go without showing you some of her floor work. She hits like the actual like 45-year-old man drunk at a wedding maneuver where they go on the floor and spin on their back. So she does that where she spins on her back for a second, catches it, and then just runs her head across the floor. Instead of like landing in a chair freeze, she instead just like lands like this and like runs her head across the floor, then goes fully flat and starts like worming around a little bit. Kind of like this, and then rolling over. Kind of like that. Overall, though, it's an innovative routine that will be remembered. At the very least, it's unique. Now, I love breakdancing. I always have since I was a kid, so I was pretty excited to see it in the Olympics here, and it's pretty sad that its future is uncertain if it'll come back. But regardless, I have no doubt breaking will persist, and it is just such a shame that a lot of people have had this routine like taint their impression of breakdancing as a whole. The competitors in the breakdancing, like the entire breakdancing Olympics here, have been incredible. Like the B girls and B boys have been amazing. The routines I've seen have been great. It's just Rachel didn't necessarily bring the most exciting routine to the table. I did see she made this post on Instagram saying, "Don't be afraid to be different. Go out there and represent yourself. You never know where that's going to take you." And to me, that seems like she's being a good sport about it. Like, she recognizes that it was just an honor to be able to go to the Olympics, and you know what, at the end of the day, she's happy. And from what I can tell, looking at her previous breakdancing battles, it's not that she's bad at it, she's just not as good as the highest level competition, like at the Olympics. And her routine seems to be a little off the rails for some of like the kangaroo poses. At the very least, it was fun to see. That was pretty cool. I will always love breakdancing, and yeah, I just had to talk about this. That's about it.